Welcome back to another episode of Hermitcraft. It is your overlord, the Emerald King. Here in the shopping area to spend diamonds, not emeralds. They don't accept them around here. Jeez. They don't accept them at all. I need to buy some supplies, peeps, because in this episode we are going to make a mini-game in the new Hermit Games area over in the 1.14 lands. I have been hit with a wave of inspiration and I've got a fantastic idea, and I require some redstone supply. So I've been scratching my noggin trying to figure out where exactly I could get some redstone supplies from, and then I remembered, of course, there is the warehouse, the place that sells everything. Y'all have been spamming me with those hashtags. Cherry over here in the distance, hashtag shop at Cherry. I get so many of those comments, it is absolutely ridiculous, but I really do appreciate all of you taking the time to tell me about the Cherry store, because otherwise I might have forgot that it was here, and it sells redstone supplies. Now there are, I believe, just 3 things that I need in particular here. I need observers, look at that, nicely stocked up, ready to go. I need some repeaters, they've got loads of them over here at Cherry. And I also need pistons. Please do tell me you sell pistons. I see some wonky ones right here. Flip phones! They sell flip phones as well. So a stack of each shall get us started on this project. We're probably going to need more in the long run, but I just want to get going here and see where the mini game goes. So first of all, massive thank you to all of you for hashtag shop at Cherry, letting me know where exactly to get my redstone supplies from. You know, I already feel like I'm in a theme park when I'm flying around this area. And do you know what else? I bet just about every hermit that comes over to this area starts by flying around here and talking about how amazing it is. It really is. It really is. And it's the backdrop for Hermitland, where we are going to be building our minigame. And I swear that this wasn't here a moment ago. SE, what does that stand for? Sahara Eats. 2 stacks of golden carrots for a dime. That's a pretty good price right there. That has literally popped up in about the last 10 minutes, I swear. Anyway, the place we're going to build our minigame is, if I get up into the sky, this little spot behind me right here. Yeah, that area with the scaffolding right next to Isgal's minigame. It's actually really quite close, so we'll try and push it across this way. But I think this is going to be enough space. I've got a concept for a game. Woo! Joel and Isgal, and we're going to repeat this concept 4 times and create 4 chambers of the game. Now, what is the game? The title of the video is The Floor is Lava. This is a mini game about how the floor is literally lava and you've got to make your way through it. Now, how are we going to do that? That's a fantastic question. We're going to be using pistons and the power of redstone to remove the lava temporarily for the player to then walk over. This is not impressive redstone, but this looks really cool when you go and add some redstone blocks. And then a power source over here. All the pistons go up, all the pistons come down. And actually the speed of the pistons is set by these right here. If we go and change these twice each time, look at those observers. It's like they're getting electrocuted. Ow! 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 Oh, and now we'll see they go up quicker and they go down quicker. But what's really cool about this is I need that lever. Aha! The input, the length that it is on for, will define how long these pistons are up for as well. So the repeaters define how quickly they pop up between each of them, and then the length of this is how long it will hold up a pathway for the player. So the lava is going to be at this level here, and then the pistons are going to create that way through. However, this is going to make wiring a compact set of controls underneath the piston kind of difficult, because this right here is rather bulky. Now, one of the things that I just love about redstone is that you're trying to create a solution to a problem, and that solution will have many steps, and sometimes you just get hung up on the wrong idea. And for me, that was simply the piston. Why does it have to be a piston that gets pushed up and down for the player to walk on? As you saw a moment ago, we created a T flip-flop, and after a while it just kind of occurred to me that this is actually the same function as this piston getting pushed up and down, right? So rather than having a piston go into the lava, let's just push a block, and that allows us to do something super simple like what you see right here. So let's go up top and simulate what this might feel like for the player. There's going to be lava on either side, and it's probably not going to spread out enough because I'm not very well prepared. But you are going to see the blocks get pushed up and then down, and that's when the player has to go all the way across, and no, I failed miserably. Oh yes, this is going to be an interesting game. I think the real problem with it though is that when the block comes down, the lava can almost instantly go across again. So should this be about the player staying on top of the blocks, or should it be about them following the blocks? I wish I hadn't fallen off then. So that time, quite a bit of delay. And that time, yeah, you saw that pretty much instantly flowed back out. I'm glad we took the time to do that. We're going to make it so the players have to walk on top of these blocks, and then if they fall down like this, they do have a little bit of time to get away. So that way it won't be quite as tough. Now there are more redstone components here to be figured out, but I've got pretty much all of it sussed out. We're going to create 4 different rooms with a different type of challenge. Each one's going to get increasingly harder. And to save myself a lot of work, I don't want to set up a beacon and dig down into the ground. We're basically going to go as low as the stone is here, and then build our redstone up on top of it. So that's going to save us a little bit of time. And then eventually we'll build a shell around this whole game, and it can have a logo, and it will probably involve a lava bucket because the floor is lava, you know. Now I would just like to take a moment to say a massive thank you to all of you for supporting the channel over the years. As you're probably aware, we are starting to race towards 1 million subscribers, which is something I didn't think I would hit for like at least another year, and now it looks like we might get there in a couple of months. It is absolutely remarkable to see how many people are subscribing each day, and so for all of you new subscribers, welcome to the channel. I've been doing this for years, and I'm not a person who particularly needs extra motivation, but I have found this whole thing to be very motivating, and I'm super pumped to make episodes for you. So from me to you, I just wanted to say thank you so much for the support. I'm going to work on a 1 million subscriber special, and when we get there, hopefully it'll be done in time and I can release it to you. But anyway, let's get back to the point of this video. I'm now going to do a time lapse and start building this game. Well, the game is shaping up real nice so far. This was a lot of fun to put together, but we still got a long way to go. We have to build a facade on the outside and program a lot of the redstone down below. I kind of realized when I was covering this up with stone bricks that it would be dark down here. There is a few places where the light gets in, but I'd be wise to put in some torches before all of the mobs start spawning. And we're actually going to take a little break from this right now. I like to break the episodes up a bit and get around the server, so there are other things that I need to get up to before we finish this minigame. And here is the problem that I was talking about. We got a creeper in there. Please don't explode. Oh, goodness me, 2 more. I've accidentally made some sort of mob dungeon game now, haven't I? I've got to be super careful clearing the mobs out of here. So back here at the Hermitcraft Mall, we have opened up a shop, the XP Vault. Wow, this thing looks glorious, doesn't it? Love the entrance. And this is the chest where we will find out if we've made any diamonds. And look at that, we have. Oh man, that's superb. 24 diamonds. Ah, look at this. Someone didn't see that that one in the middle there was 20. I guess it's kind of not clear if you don't look it over, so there's still a cheap pass available. Someone perhaps overpaid, you could say. And you could see, look, this thing is being used. Some of this is being restocked at the moment, and loads of it is ready to go. So we're off to a fantastic start with this project. I've got some diamonds in my pocket, but as you can see, the farm isn't running right now, and no need for alarm because we have a large stockpile of cactus and also the fuel around the back here. So the reason it's not running is because I wanted to make some optimizations. I'm a little bit concerned about the impact this could have on the server. As you know, the zero tick farms do not really impact the server at all. It impacts the client, so when you come over here it feels a little bit laggy, but the server will be just fine. Now, one of the things that could be hindering its performance is these droppers dispensing individual items over and over again. Why did I put them in there? That was really silly. Oh, there go my diamonds. Where will they end up? Will they even go into any of these? Some of them, yeah, look, some of them have got spaces. Oh, they're lost forever. Here's a better example, right? Each time an item goes through here, it moves around as an individual item, and I'm going to guess that having, 27 individual items is more impactful than having a pile of 27 like that. So what we want to do first of all is create a mechanism here at the beginning that is going to group up the cactus, and it's going to group up the bamboos into groups of 64 and then send them on their way. So those furnaces that were lit that we saw a moment ago, they're actually an indication to the ones that have been used. So lucky for me, I found my diamonds again. Hey, there we go. Excellent. 54. That's how many we made. Let's see this thing in action then. Those pistons are going to pull up. There's plenty of time for the items to go across. And then they push back down again. Now, I'm not sure that the amount of time that it's locked like this is enough for a whole stack, but it will certainly group up a whole bunch of items. And it probably won't be exact as well. Now, I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of comments saying, why didn't you use pressure plates to count the items? Well, the problem is pressure plates will stop the water stream. We need the water stream to hold the items here and then to expand outwards so that they can, the items that is, then be pushed across. So this is a comparator decay clock. And by adding a torch here in this extra redstone, you kind of create this delay where it powers off and then powers back up again. And we simply utilize that to create a signal going in this direction to hold this up for a certain amount of time. Now, I can make that longer by extending the redstone signal here, because this piece will turn off before that one because it's based on signal strength. And I could also make it a little bit shorter if I put the redstone torch on the side of this block, but that's where it worked out really well. So just over the other side here, there's a redstone torch, and you can see that gets turned off to pull these up. And our next problem to fix involves lava, like the minigame that we're making. Except it's for destroying items. You see, over here I never added a system to get rid of the green dye that gets dispensed out of the dropper here. Now, I was going to put glass blocks underneath so you could see that there were lava, but I didn't have a lot of them, so I needed to be economical, crafted some glass panes, and realized this holds back the lava but allows you to just reach in there and place it down, which is much easier to work with. So I had to find some lava, and I just extended this staircase, and it actually went right into the middle of a lava source. So we're able to fish up loads of lava buckets and just build loads of this all the way around. There you go, taken care of. And our next problem involves the items that overflow from the top and drop down onto these tripwires. There was a problem where they would go through the tripwire and it wouldn't activate a redstone signal, so I had to put a block directly underneath that in order for that to happen. Now, this means that the items are just going to sit there, so below these blocks I'm going to put lava, but if we have a look at the redstone here on the side, when an item lands on there it's going to create a signal, right, going over to our farms to shut them off. And it's also then going to unlock this piston. That's going to retract and the items will fall through into lava. So remember how there used to be a beacon beam in the middle of this room? Well, I've taken out the beacon, and that's actually the last of all the jobs that I had to do here. If I haven't overlooked anything, this thing is now entirely self-sufficient. 128 banks of XP that will automatically restock, and each one of them can repair a full tool. That's absolutely fantastic, and I'm so happy to see a couple of the hermits are adopting it and using the service. We've only sold 3 passes so far though, so I need to get the word out there. While we're in the area, we should tally up our diamonds, because I've actually filled up a shulker box worth of bone blocks. Been AFKing at the skeleton farm for a restock, and over here we've actually made some more diamonds, plus the 54 that we got from our new XP vault. So I'm going to restock this, then go around to all the shops and see how many diamonds we've made. And despite me giving away wool for free, we are still turning a profit over here. We've made another 15 diamonds. Ridiculous. Don't the hermits know I'm giving away wool for free now? And unfortunately no sales here at the Emerald store, but our total diamonds for the season is now 1,797. Absolutely crazy. So we are back in the minigames area, and I'm climbing to the top of iBounce. Now in the last episode you saw I did a cheaty trolly thing and managed to get myself all the way to the very top of this, and it was quite simple. What I did was threw an ender pearl up like this and then drop down. And as you'll see, we bounce, the ender pearl lands, and we get thrown up into the air, which is kind of hilarious. Now, I showed this to Impulse, and then he sent me a screenshot of the ender pearl hitting the scaffold. So if you pause the video and you didn't see an ender pearl like on top of the scaffold when we got teleported back out, that's because I actually edited it out of the video. So if you were to pause this one and get the right frame, you would see it there. So it was kind of a little bit of, you know, being clever, and also a little bit of video editing as well to hide the ender pearl, but I planned on telling you how we did it. Also, obviously, this thing has been renovated, right? I like the new look. It's really cool. The prismarine is interesting, but we are not to get distracted. We're here to work on the minigame, of course. So as you saw in the time-lapse we did earlier, the layouts of each of the rooms are different. This is to provide a different challenge. And this first one's going to be more of an introductory style play, and we're actually going to have some safe spots. So notice how there isn't a block over here or a block over here. That's because the player has the option of running off to the side and standing here and then simply waiting until they get to run all the way around to the next spot. So this one will actually be kind of slow to begin with, and we're going to test it in just a moment because we've got to create some redstone down the bottom here to control the speed of it. But otherwise, all the redstone down here has been done, and you'll notice that there is some redstone wire, and that's because we need to turn a corner here. So what we're using is the wire after the additional repeater, because that repeater would sort of be where this one was if that could turn the corner. So it will provide the same sort of delay and redstone length as all the other ones will, basically. Over here it divides off in two directions, so that one powers this one. You've got your repeater going around to there, and that does those two. And it essentially does the same thing when it gets to every single corner, which you'll see throughout the redstone of this. Over here we've got something a little bit different just because this branches out from the middle and it's not on a corner. So if we pair the repeaters together in our mind, it should become quite obvious. So that one and that one, then this one and that one get powered at the same time. Then it's this one here and that one there, and then this one is the same as the redstone in front of it. So that's why there's extra repeaters like this. So the redstone down the bottom here is kind of a little bit complicated. I'm going to explain it in little steps. What's really cool is I think we're going to make use of the locking repeater function right here, as I tried to use some logic gates to solve a problem, and then it turned out that this did exactly what I wanted. And it's a really nice feature, but it never gets used too often. So first of all, let's just focus on the input here. We want to create a clock that goes on and then goes off. Now look at the redstone repeaters that are on. Those are the blocks that are going to be extended upwards that the player can walk on. Now what's really important is that we don't accidentally generate a short pulse, because then this will leave the blocks up top extended. Remember, we're going to be using T flip-flops over here. So if we have a short pulse, let's quickly generate that. Not short enough, but it is possible to make one very short. Or maybe it's not. Actually, it's probably not, because these are all 4 ticks. Well, if we pretend that it was, we'd be able to generate that short problematic pulse by turning this off at the wrong point. So it's turned on in order to lock the clock that we have in front of us, and this is our output right here. Then when I turn it back on, the locking repeater just ensures that you don't accidentally create a short pulse out of here. But anyway, I think this clock is incorrect because it creates the same amount of on and off time. And what we want is for these repeaters to be on for an amount of time and then off for far longer. Because as you can see, lots of them are getting activated. So we don't want lots of pulses running through here all the time. All the things are solved, my friends. We got a bigger clock over here, and with a different approach to the output, I realized it solved our problem entirely, because this will always create the same type of pulse leading into there. And what all these repeaters are is essentially a big pulse extender, and if I were to remove some of the repeaters, I could shorten it and I could add some as well. So for each of the different levels of this, there's going to be different lengths of pulse. Probably it'll get shorter each time. Now the other thing we need to do is turn this on and off, and this is really simple. Okay, so the whole thing is locked in an off state at the moment, and we're going to have two inputs to change that. We're going to have one at the entrance here, which will simply be a pressure plate. That pressure plate will power this piston, which will activate this clock right here and allow the player to play. It looks like, though, there will be a little bit of a delay after they first stand on the pressure plate, which I actually think is fine. Now, when they get to the end, we're going to have to run a redstone signal all the way back here to power the second one, and that is going to lock this and stop the whole thing happening. So when a player makes it through from one side to the other, that's going to turn it off while they're in there and then turn it off when they get to the other side. So wires over here have been laid down, and that one goes all the way to the other end where there's a pressure plate, and technically this thing is now playable. I've also made some aesthetic decisions on the inside. As you'll see, we got the red nether brick slab, and then that's going to be like our safety block. Now, yep, I thought I did. I accidentally activated, and remember, I can stand on this as much as I like and it won't break our redstone. So now we can see the path, and obviously there's no lava in here. And even like this, it's a little bit on the tense side, but it's kind of easy, so I'm going to adjust this. But the player will be surrounded by lava, remember. And I really do think actually some speed changes here might help. So maybe it gets faster the further along you get. Okay, and this is the end. So when I stand here, we then turn off the redstone and this thing will stop. And there you go. So proof of concept. Everything, my friends, here works. That's wonderful. This point now means that we're pretty much done with figuring everything out. We've now just got to finish wiring up all the redstone and adjusting it so it's fun to play. What would you know, I'm doing a little bit of building and I've been interrupted by pillagers that aren't shooting at me. And now they're coming for me. Okay, I stepped too close to them. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, leave me alone. And remember, you've always got to take care of these ones with fire. Yes, there we go. Finally you're on fire. I'm just going to stand here and watch you die, buddy. You know? Yeah, their AI could do with some improvement. You know, maybe walking out of fire would be a cool feature for the pillager. So now all of our buildings have ceilings on top of them. I've gone for white around the outside and white glass. This is so that you can't just simply jump from one set of blocks across the other one. You're going to bang your head and fall into the lava. Now the reason I've chosen the colour white is because we sort of set off on a little bit of a gradient right here, and I guess you could kind of top it off with white as yellow gets lighter, and I believe it is possible to create a flame that turns white as well, like you have red, orange and yellow in a flame. Anyway, I might be talking about what I don't even know there. So let's go to the inside, because there's another reason I've decided to make this white on top, and that's because I want that gradient to translate to the game on the inside. You see, I've set it up so some of the repeaters down below now have different timings, which means they're going to get faster. So what we'll do is have the default timing of 4 ticks for red. Then if it's 3 ticks, it's going to go like this, and then 2 ticks and 1 tick. And this is sort of representative of how the end of this track works. So I was thinking, as the player comes through, it'd be nice for them to have a visual hint as to when it speeds up, because I was playtesting it and I was like, yeah, you kind of like really don't know when it is, and you're going to have to do trial by error. And the problem with this game is that once you touch the lava, that's pretty much it. You're going to be dead, right? So we need to make this relatively doable, but fun and challenging. And I think having a visual hint telling you what's going to happen is the way to go. Alright, and this is what it looks like once that's been done properly. So it's slow for the beginning bit, and once you get to your second checkpoint, the last bit is a little bit of a sprint. But now what I'm going to do is fill this up with lava. And hopefully I can do this in a way where the spreading of it is efficient and, you know, I also don't die. And I also must remember not to put any sources on top of these blocks. They can only go on top of the stone bricks so that they spread out and they don't get removed by the block popping up. Okay, that's it. The lava's spread out. It covers the whole room. It looks terrifying. Oh my goodness me. It looks absolutely terrifying. Now, I'm giving myself a cheaty ender pearl because, you know, I'm just testing the game right here. Let's eat our carrot before we go in. Also got the pressure plate, so I haven't been accidentally turning this thing on all the time. And now I guess we're going to give it a shot. So we have turned it on, and in a moment, Oh, this does actually feel more intense. Okay, and players will play this naked as well. Oh my goodness me, I'm in already. I'm in already. Wow. Wow. Okay then, I think I might need to make an adjustment to the pulse, or maybe I just wasn't ready for it. Okay, it's going to come again soon. Here we go. Oh, it is terrifying. You are absolutely blind, and I definitely want to go to... Oh my god, I even know the layout. Oh! That's amazing. That's amazing. Alright, now getting back from here might actually be tricky. Let's watch it go around. I've probably got to rethink that, don't I? Okay, I'm going to try and sprint across, but something here's got to be a little bit different, I think. Right, so now I've got to... Oh, jeez! Jeez Louise! That was amazing! Yes! This game is fun and terrifying and everything that I wanted it to be. So the day is getting a little bit long for me, and I planned on doing this all in one episode. That's pretty much what I do for every project, and then as it gets bigger and bigger, I realise I have to scale it back more and more, and I was trying to do what you've just seen in that first room for all 4 of these, but I think I'll actually save them for later episodes, as each one takes a little bit of time to test and think through, and then we get to play test it. But of course we're going to build up a facade around this game. We've got to build an instruction rooms and probably some more redstone as well to connect it all together, but the fundamentals are there and it's totally doable. So I am absolutely stoked for this project. We're going to be working on it in the next few episodes. I also want to fly off in this direction and talk about Scar, who actually built the entirety of this game right here in a single episode. Now that is dedication right there. Scar, my friend, you are an absolute madman. Look at how gorgeous this build is. Yeah, I just wanted to show off what the other hermits are up to with the mini games, and we're going to go over to Ren, and I know Ren hasn't shown this in a video, but I think it's okay to show it at this point in time, because I don't know what on earth this is, and neither do any of you probably just by looking at it. But clearly Ren is going to build some sort of massive mini game in this area, so I'm super stoked to see his video when it comes out. I'm very hyped for that project, and the whole thing in this area in general is just fantastic. There are loads of mini games popping up, and it is the new thing, and I'm really happy to be a part of it. By the way, if you go in the opposite direction from the Hermit lands, you come across this strange border thing right here. It looks like someone's building a perimeter or something. I have no idea what this is, so if any of you have been watching the other Hermits and you know what it is, please let me know. I would like to find out. So I've spent a lot of time this episode going back and forth between my base and the 1.14 area, and I was going way too fast for that, wasn't I? But I think I heard the piston fire, and I think we activated it. Yeah, there might be something to this. So this is very similar to an idea that I showed in one of the previous episodes, but then I had a tweet from D Marvin that pointed out that when this gets pushed down, if the block below is powered, then the trapdoor will open, which will work for us, because if it isn't open, we go straight through this thing. However, as you saw right then, I was giving it a bit of a test run. Now, you're not always going to be going at top speed, is one thing to consider. But if we just slow it down a bit, and then, yeah, oh, it's still not quite good enough. But the idea is that you would then hit this thing here, right? So from this side, you have a slight advantage. Nope. Nope, still not good enough. Even when you're going relatively slower, it almost worked. It went right through us. And we've got to consider all these factors and just make this thing as friendly as we possibly can. And I don't think this is going to be it. We could also wire this up so we have one here and one over there. But then we have to have multiple of these things, and the redstone has to come to the middle. Then when the player gets off, you also got to walk over and hit one of these again, and I'm just not sure if it's going to work out. Anyway, keep your ideas coming at me. I've seen some really interesting ones, and we'll come back to this again sometime soon, I'm sure. Remember though, the whole objective here is to keep this really inelegant, so minimal impact on the area and ease of use. You know, the player doesn't really have to know anything, it's just sort of self-explanatory. There are some beautiful sights to be had in this place, and you know what, I actually want to go up. Up like this, over and over again. Wow, look at that. We're at the end of the episode, peeps. I do hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, leave a like. And of course, make sure you subscribed to the series if you want to catch more episodes. We're going to be finishing off the minigame real soon and working on more amazing projects as always. Thank you so much for watching this one. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.